students. So till now we have studied about that of the Newton's second law of motion. So what is Newton's second law of motion, student? Newton's second law of motion, it states that the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the applied force, and this change it take place in the direction in which the force is acting. Okay, so that is the Newton's second law. Okay, or we can say that force is directly proportional to the change in momentum upon time taken. That is the rate of change of momentum. We also studied the different application of the related to that of the Newton's second law of motion. So the observation that we used to see around us in our everyday life, and how can we apply that, we studied about that. So the first example that we learned, that is the catching of the cricket ball. So catching of the cricket ball, what happened? The player, he used to move his hand backward so that it will increase the time for the conversion of the momentum, or it increases the time of a momentum reduced to zero, and due to which the time increases, so the change in the momentum it decreases, and thus the force which act by that of the ball on the hand, that will also get decreased, and it will help in preventing the injury to the hand of the player. We also discussed the other examples of the Newton's second law of motion, that why a person who is sitting in a car should use a seat belt. Because if suppose the car stops suddenly, then what happened? Due to the sudden stop, the change in the momentum which reduces to zero, it takes very less amount of a time. Okay, and due to which the person sitting in the car will feel a jerk and fall forward. So it is because of the stretchable seat belt, it help in reducing or increasing the change in the momentum, and thus the change in the momentum get decreased as the time increases for the momentum to become zero. So the change of the momentum get decreased, thus the force applied on it also get decreased, also becomes zero. Okay, so this will makes, or this will prevent injury or prevent any kind of accident to that of the driver. One more example, we studied that why this the high jumping athlete, he used to jump, or they are provided with a cushion or a heap of a sand. So as they jump on the heap of the sand, since the sand or a cushion, it will goes inside, so it will take time. The momentum, the reduction of the momentum to zero, it will take time. So time taken here is increased, it becomes long, thus it makes the change in that of the momentum, it decreases, and finally the force against force which is applied by that of the heap of the sand or the cushion on the player, on the athlete, will get decreased, and it will help in preventing the injury to the athlete. Then we started with the Newton's third law of motion, student. What is Newton's third law of motion? Newton's third law of motion says that if suppose you applied a force on an object, okay, if one object is there and you applied a force on it, the other object will also apply the same amount of a force. Okay, but that force will be in opposite direction. So we can say that when you apply a force, when one object apply a force on a second object, the second object will also apply a equal and opposite amount of a force to the first one. In this, we have studied about the action and the reaction forces, the two type of forces which act to while the Newton's third law of motion, while studying the Newton's third law of motion. So action is when the first object applies force on the second. Reaction, the reaction shown by, or the reaction force shown by the second object to the first object. So by this we come to the conclusion of another definition of a Newton's third law of motion, that is, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So in terms of that Newton's third law of motion, we comes to the different examples, and we also studied that why examples are necessary, because most of the time questions they generally ask from the examples itself. That's why the examples are important in case of a Newton's third law of motion. So we studied that how we walk. So basically what happened, if a person, he used to walk on a ground or on a surface, he used to push the ground. As he pushed the ground backward, the ground will also shows a force, and that will be equal but in the opposite direction. So you are an object, when you apply a force on the ground to the backward, when you push the ground backward, that is your action, and the ground will also apply the force on you in a equal amount but opposite in direction. That is, the ground will force you to move in the forward direction. Okay, and that is the reaction. So due to this action and reaction, we are able to move, or we are able to walk. We also discuss one more thing, and that is the firing of the gun, or the bullet is fired from that of the gun. So basically what happened, the bullet, when you fire when bullet is fired from that of the gun, then a forward force or a action on that of the bullet is applied. So bullet, it applies a force on that of the bullet, feels the force which is applied by that of the gun. Okay, and because of that it moves forward. Now the bullet will also exert the same amount of a force to that of the gun, although here the mass of the gun is more than that of the mass of the bullet. Okay, so at first one force is applied by the gun on the bullet in the forward direction, and due to which the bullet moves in a forward direction. At the same time, the bullet applies an equal and opposite force to that of the gun in the opposite direction, that is in the backward direction, and that is a reaction. But here the bullet will goes forward in a proper, it goes to a certain distance, it covers a certain distance, but the gun remains the same, it remains there only. It will move very less distance, or it exert a simple reaction. It is because of the mass, because the gun mass is more as compared to the mass of the bullet. Okay, and due to which the force exerted on the bullet is more than that of the recoiling of the force of the gun. Although bullet will try to apply the same and opposite amount of a force to that of the gun itself. What happened when a sailor, he jumps out of the boat? At that time also, the sailor, he used to push the boat in the backward direction. And as he tried to push the boat in the backward direction, the boat will also apply an equal and opposite force to the sailor in the forward direction. Okay, so by this the sailor is able to jump out of the boat. Okay, so these are the different applications. We will learn some more examples related to the Newton's third law of motion, students. Another example related to that of a Newton's third law of motion, students. That is, if suppose a sailor is there and he is sitting in the boat and wants to take his boat from one side of the river bank to the other, okay, or away from that of the river bank. So what he will do, he will push the river bank in the backward direction with the help of his oar. Okay, so that oar will push the water, the river bank to the backward. Okay, so what he is doing here, he is simply applying the force on the river bank, and due to which the water will move in the backward direction. Okay, so this is the action. Okay, where one object, the first object, that is the sailor, he is applying a force on the other object, that is the river bank. What happened then? There is another force will act on the sailor also, and that is a reaction. Okay, so then the river bank will also exert an equal and opposite force to that of the sailor. So the riverbank will apply a force on the boat, due to which the boat will move in the forward direction. Okay, so here the sailor, he used to he is applying the force by which the riverbank move in a backward direction, and the riverbank will also apply a force on the boat, due to which the boat will move in the forward direction. Okay, so this is an example of another Newton's third law of motion. Now we will see the another one, and that is the rocket fuel. Now the jet aeroplane, they also work, or jet aircraft or that of the rocket. Both of them, they basically work on the principle of the action and the reaction. So they utilizes this principle of action and reaction. If you see that of the rocket fuel, student, so what happened when a rocket fuel is ignited, a hot gas is produced. Now you see here, if you see, then you will find that the jet aircraft, while moving in the upward direction, a hot gases is obtained, which rushes out from the rear end of the rocket or the jet aircraft. Okay, so rear end or the back end. So these hot gases, they are basically obtained by the rapid burning of the fuel. So the fuel which is present in it, when they get burned, they releases the hot gases. Now if you see here, the hot gases which is produced by the fuel, these hot gas molecules, they collide with each other, and due to the collision, you know that the wall of the engine wall will feel or will exert a force, and that force will pushes them out of the bottom of the engine. So here it is simply talking that how these hot gases, they come from the rear end of the rocket, okay, or rear end of the jet aircraft. So basically what happened, the burning fuel, it releases or it produces the hot gases, and these hot gases, you know, the hot gases are having the higher kinetic energy. So since they are having the higher kinetic energy, so they start colliding with each other, as well as they start colliding with the wall of the engine. So due to which the pressure increases, or the force it exerted makes them to move from the rear end of the jet aircraft or the rocket. So basically when we talk about this, the gas particles, it is produced due to the burning of the fuel, and you have seen that they used to come outside from the rear end. Now as they start coming outside from the rear end, they will also exert an equal and opposite amount of a force to the jet aircraft. And due to this, the jet aircraft, it moves in the upward direction, because the hot gases, they moves in the downward direction, and due to the hot gases which is moving in the downward direction, they will also exert an equal and opposite amount of a force to the jet aircraft, and due to which they move to the forward direction. The principle or that of the propulsion of the rocket or that of the jet aircraft can be explained on the basis of an inflated balloon. So if you see here, student, a balloon is there, and with the inflated balloon which is filled with that of the compressed air. When you keep this mouth of that of the balloon untied, and you release the balloon by keeping the untied mouth to the left side, then what you will observe, you will see that the balloon will flies off, or it rushes towards the right side. Okay, what does that indicate? It says that the balloon was actually moving opposite to that of the escaping air. Air is at the left side, it is moving at the left side, and the balloon is moving opposite to that of the escaping air. So here the gases which is coming out of the balloon, it exert an equal and opposite amount of force to that of the balloon, which makes it to move in the right direction. You can understand it by the another thing, that if suppose you release that of the inflated balloon by keeping its untied mouth in the downward direction. Okay, so if you keep this the untied mouth in the downward direction, and when you release it, then what happens, the balloon will flies in the upward direction. Okay, so the escaping air is in the downward direction and balloon is moving opposite to that of the escaping gases, that is in the upward direction. So here what happened, the gases which is released or which is coming out from the balloon, it pushes the balloon, it exerts a force on the balloon, due to which it starts moving in the upward direction. So here the reaction is shown by the hot gases or the gases which is coming out of the balloon. So it exerts an equal and opposite force to the balloon, which makes it to fly in the opposite direction or in the upward direction. The same thing happened with that of the rocket or with that of the jet aeroplane. So you will see here, student, in the jet aeroplane, when we are talking about it, then we have seen that in the rocket engine or in the jet aeroplane, the gases particle, it was coming out at the rear end, at the back, from the back end, and as it is coming out from the back end, it exerts a force on the rocket, it exerts a force on that of the jet aircraft, due to which it moves in the upward direction. So gases is coming to the downward direction. So what is that? That is the action force. Okay, so the downward push of the gases is the action force, and these gases, they in return, they exert a force on the rocket, and that upward push, that upward force which is applied by the gases is equal, and in the opposite direction it makes or it pushes the rocket engines to move in the upward direction. So what is that? That is the reaction force. One is the action force, in which a downward push is there, due to which the gases are coming out from the backward end, from the rear end of the rocket, and the another force is there which is applied by the gases on the rocket, and due to which the rocket, it starts moving in the opposite direction of the escaping gas. It means it starts moving in the upward direction. Okay, so by this method, the jet engine is able to flies off in the upward direction. So basically we can say that the flying of the jet aircraft or the rocket, it depend upon the principle of the Newton's third law of motion, that is the action and reaction. Okay, so one action force is there and one reaction force is there. Now we will see the another case, and that is the case of a horse cart or a horse pulling a cart. So how can we apply the Newton's third law? So here the third law, we know that it is what? An action and a reaction. So we can apply the third law of action and reaction to this situation, that is horse pulling a cart. So according to the third law of equation, we are talking about the action and reaction. So basically if you see here, what kind of action and reaction is going on, students? The horse, it exerts some force on the cart, and in return the cart will exert a force on the horse. So one object, the first object, that is the horse, it applies a force on the cart, and that is action. And in return the cart will also exert an equal amount of force to the horse. So here by this we can say there is an action and reaction is going on between the horse and that of the cart. So at the first glance it seems like, or it will look like, that the force which is exerted by the horse to the cart or cart to the horse, it is what? It is a equal and opposite force, and the forces being equal and opposite, it will cancel out each other, and if it cancel out each other, then there will be no movement. It means the cart will not going to move. But it should be noted that it is only the force on the cart which determine that whether the cart will move or not move, and that the force exerted by cart on the horse, it affects the horse alone. So basically there are two type of forces are acting on it. One force is acting by that of a horse on the cart, and the other force is acting on the horse by the cart. Okay, so this is what it is, a Newton's third law of motion, by which the horse, it pulls the cart. Okay, so as it pulls the cart will also pull the horse. Okay, so this is the first action and reaction which exist here. Now the second one is there, the horse, there is another force is there, that is the, when the horse it moves, the horse it pushes the ground also in the backward direction. Okay, so when the horse moves, it pushes the ground in the backward direction, and the ground will also exert a force on the horse which make it to move in the forward direction. So if the horse is able to apply enough force to overcome the frictional force present, the cart will be able to move. Okay, so it is totally depend upon the frictional force between the horse and that of the ground, which make a cart which make a horse cart to move. So for this, or to make the cart move, the horse it bend itself and pushes the ground with its feet in the backward direction. Okay, so as it pushes the ground in the backward direction, that is another kind of action which is showing by the horse, and in return the ground will react, it will also exert a force on it and make it to move in a forward direction. So when the forward reaction to the backward push of the horse is greater than the opposing frictional force of the wheel, the cart will be moved. Okay, so to overcome with the frictional forces, the force applied, the forward reaction to the backward push, it must be greater than that of the opposing frictional force of the wheel. You can see here, student, the forces, the horse pull the cart and the cart pull the horse, they are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Here also, when the horse pushes the ground pushes the horse, and that is also equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Okay, so this is the horse and cart problem, how the horse is able to pull a cart by applying the Newton's third law of motion. If we see the other example, that is that of the water hose pipe. So you see, student, that when a fireman he direct the strong stream of water which is coming out from the hose pipe on the fire, then while doing so the firemen have to hold the water hose pipe very strongly. Why is it so? It is because of the force of the water which is going in the forward direction. So since the stream of the water which is coming outside from that of the water hose pipe is having much more force, so because of that the firemen have to hold the water hose pipe very strongly. Okay, so basically you see here how the Newton's third law of motion is applied. So the water which is coming out from the water hose pipe, that is what it exert the water of when you press the button, and the water which is coming from the hose pipe, it is due to the action of the due to which it comes outside, and as it comes outside it will also exert a certain amount of a force, or a equal and opposite amount of a force to the hose pipe. Okay, so due to the hose pipe the water comes outside, so that is an action, and in return the strong stream of water which is coming outside, it will also exert a force on the hose pipe, and due to which the hose pipe will move in a backward direction. Okay, so the firemen have to hold the water hose pipe strongly, otherwise it will goes to the backward direction. Okay, so one, the water stream which is coming outside, it is because of the action, so it is coming outside, it means it is coming in the forward direction, and it also exert an equal and opposite force to the hose pipe, due to which it feels a force and goes in the backward direction. So the person, the firemen have to hold it very strongly. Okay, so these are the some of the examples of the Newton's third law of motion that we have studied. If we see the swimming also, the jumping also, these all comes in the Newton's third law of motion, because when you jump, then there also you pushes the ground will also exert an equal amount of a force in the opposite direction, and due to which you can jump in the upward direction. The same thing happened while swimming. You used to cut the water current in the backward direction. You push the water in the backward direction, so you are applying a force on the water in the backward direction. In return, the water will also exert a force on you in the opposite direction, and due to which you are able to move in the forward directions. Okay, so these are the examples that this principle depend upon the action and a reaction. In these examples, you have seen one thing, student, and that is in all the conditions, the two bodies, the first object, the other object, both the bodies are in contact with each other. Okay, so due to which one is applying a force on the other, and the other will again apply an equal and opposite force to the second one. Okay, so by this you can see that these two bodies are always in contact with each other, but it does not happen in every situation. You can see here, if we talk about the two magnets, so if suppose one magnet is there and the another magnet is there, and we kept both of the magnet a little bit far away from each other, it means they are not in contact with each other. Okay, so if both of them are far away from each other or not in contact with each other, at that time also, if you take them a little bit closer to each other, you can feel the force. Okay, so first one, if this is the first one and this one is the second one, if this applies a force on the second one will also applies an equal and opposite amount of a force to that of the first one. Okay, so the two magnets, they attract each other or they repel each other. What does that indicate? It indicates that both of them are applying an equal and opposite force on each other. Okay, so this is an example of what? In which the two bodies are not in contact with each other. Another example, like a piece of a paper and a electrically charged comb. So if an electrically charged comb is there, and when you take that comb to a piece of a paper, then you will find that the piece of the paper starts getting attracted to that charged comb. Although when you keep the charged comb little bit away, or you just keep a distance between that of the piece of the paper and the comb, then also you feel that the piece of paper is getting attracted to that of the comb. Okay, so why is here you can see there is an equal and opposite force of attraction is working on it, and due to which we can say that it works on the principle of a Newton's law of motion. Okay, so here also there is the two bodies are not in contact with each other. They are not in a contact with each other, but even then they exert a force on each other. A very good example that we see in our daily life, that if suppose you throw a stone, So when you throw a stone in the upward direction or from the ground, then what you will see that the stone, as it moves in the upward direction, it starts after a certain period of time start moving to the downward direction, and the force or the earth, it also exert a force on that of the stone. So here also two forces are acting on it, and both of the forces are equal and opposite to each other. So now see here student, what happened when the stone was coming downward, at that time the earth, it exert a force on the stone, okay, and in return the stone will also exert a force on the earth. Okay, so earth will exert a force on the stone, due to which it starts attracting towards it, and the stone will also exert a force on the earth. Okay, so what is this? There is an equal and opposite reaction is working on it. Although due to the higher mass, it will comes down to that of the gravitational force, that is one thing, but in both of the cases the forces are acting in between both of them. Okay, so you can see here, this is an example of the forces which is acting on two bodies which are not in contact with each other. So here also action and reaction forces are working on both the bodies, but they are not in contact with each other, as we have studied in the other examples. Now this is the applications, or these are the examples of the Newton's third law of motion. Now we will start with that of the law of conservation of momentum. Okay, we have studied about the momentum, that momentum is what? It is the product of the mass and the velocity. Okay, and how this law, this momentum get conserved before collision and after collision between the two bodies. Okay, that we will study